So, I'm at the Hooded Grave Cemetery. This is a small local cemetery very close to where I live. And these hooded graves you don't find much of anymore. This is a pretty old cemetery, as you can tell here by some of the tombstones. I have to get some of the dates here from some of them. That one's from 1852. And here's the other one that's still left. There were several others. Some of them are now gone due to age and decay. Some are still maintained by a couple of the local families. And this one's pretty with the bird finials. Here you can see it on either end. But it's just another interesting piece of local history. So what do vampires, werewolves, grave robbers, and the wealthy all have in common? No, this isn't a joke. They're all part of the mystery of the Hooded Grave Cemetery. Two of the gravestones in this rural resting place are engaged in what resemble large Victorian-era bird cages. Why? Well, that's a question that holds a lot of speculation. A few believe those buried in those graves may be vampires. Originally, the cages had locks on them, leading to the assumption they weren't trying to keep people out, but to keep the dead from escaping. Some believe these cages were installed to keep out werewolves, and a few of the locals believed they were in the area killing their livestock. They thought by caging the graves they would keep the wolves from desecrating the deceased bodies. Most believe that the cages were built as a show of wealth. The cages are quite elaborately designed and quite ornate. The family members of the deceased in these caged graves were active in the iron ore business, a very lucrative business during the 19th century here. But the most logical reason these cages exist is to keep out grave robbers. During the mid-19th century, young corpses were in high demand. The city of Philadelphia at this time was the epicenter of medical science and studies. With well over 1,000 medical students, a good corpse was often difficult to find. It became nearly a rite of passage for young medical students to rob graves for their corpses. Who knows what the truth is? But they're pretty cool to look at, no matter what the truth is. This is the historic Roaring Creek Bridge over Roaring Creek in Slabtown, Pennsylvania. The county commissioners awarded the contract of this reinforced concrete span. The first span was 45 foot. Total span length is 97 feet long. But the bid was awarded in 1913 to Faro Concrete Company by the county commissioners for a total of $5,489. The black and white photos here were taken around 1968. Mike would have been just a young feller then, and this is a bridge that is by the home where he grew up. And we wanted to take some pictures and some research on it because it's a one of its kind in the area, and it's still here after numerous floods and ice jams and all the major floods like Agnes and everything else. It has stood the test of time through all of that. And Roaring Creek floods pretty badly. It can be a pretty violent flooding creek. What makes this bridge really special, besides the age and its beauty, is that it's a neoclassical balustrades, making it one of the earliest examples of an architectonic deck arch bridge in the region. Although it is situated in a rural village setting, it reflects the tenets of the City Beautiful movement. The bridge's significance lies in the rarity of its design in a region that holds no other parallel examples. So this is just another interesting architectural bridge in our area. We also have many of the covered bridges, some of which I've shown you before. And we have some other examples of different stuff. This area was also one of the first to be heavy into iron ore production, hence the hooded graves. Having the cages was probably, as they said, partly a sign of wealth. But I just wanted to bring you along to partially archive this for Mike's memories, but also share it with you guys. There's little gems like this all over this area, along with the hooded graves, which the hooded graves are really rare. You're just not going to see that hardly anywhere anymore. Most of them are all gone. But the beauty of the architecture here just can't be stated enough. And the reinforced concrete was a fairly new concept back then. And I'd say they did a fine job. Like I said, this bridge has been through it all, and it's still just as solid as can be. So anyway, it's a little glimpse out on Pennsylvania Road, so to speak, as the one show claims to be off the news. Little oddball places by me that have a lot of interesting significance that people probably in their busy hurry in everyday life just don't even notice anymore. But I wanted to capture it, even though it's in good shape. Who knows how long it'll last when people decide to change things, or another flood comes through that maybe does damage it for good. Who knows? But I think it'll probably be there, maybe even after I'm gone. It's that solid. So that was a little trip down the road today, and share the bridge with you and the hooded graves, and I hope I shared something, a little history that you didn't know, and maybe learned a little something. I still can't believe that bridge cost $5,800 some back then. I can't even imagine what that costs today to build. But whoever did it, they did it right. So join me again next time. Next time I'll be cooking, but today I was just doing a little sightseeing, appreciating what my local area here has to offer. And you know what? I bet you if you look around where you are, you'll find a few of those too. If you liked what you saw, like, subscribe, and join me next time here in Helga's Pennsylvania Cooking.